Welcome, fellow Exlanders. What is today going to be about? Yes, it is Sunday, so we are doing a weekly recap. So, if you missed any of the weekly streams, although you should go back and watch them, they're all on YouTube. Today, we're going to give you the highlights and the important things that you need to know to be informed in all that's happening in Upx World. And it is an exciting time indeed. I won't spoil anything, so we'll just hop right into it. So let's do that. I don't know. I'm trying some different. You can see this little. I don't like that. I at the bottom here. You see the little it's got the chat, but it is a weird stream thing. So hold on, let me fix that chat stream. Is my audio okay? Everything? You guys clear here? See that scroll? It's like a weird breaking news. Hey, you got it. Look at that. Spark Exchange got it. Loud and clear. Okay, you know what? Maybe I am going to just keep the scroll because it's kind of fun and a little bit different than the other views. So, welcome to the weekly update. I use 7 different terms: update, briefing, recap. All of them work. They all pretty much mean the same thing. So let's jump right in. We have a full packed show today. Here is the agenda. So we'll go over the weekly recap. I have community spotlight. There has been just an incredible amount of really cool art and things submitted for various bounties and various channels, and I want to make sure that gets highlighted. Sometimes it isn't as much. We've been doing a lot with the backgrounds of the cast for the different living quarters, but there's a lot of other amazing art going on and asset creation, and I want to highlight that today. And the roadmap. So we do have now a 2022 Q3, Q4, and then a Q1, Q2 for 2023 roadmap. It is fairly light. I'm not going to lie. It's fairly light as far as the details for round 1, but hopefully it'll give everybody in the community kind of the progression. We have a ton we want to accomplish, right? So if you've been involved in any of the streams this week, we have some big ideas and really big plans. However, it is important that we take it one step at a time. So all of the features, all of the amazing content, all of the revenue streaming architecture and design, it's not going to be day one, but it is all in the plan. And games, things like that, we have a plethora of amazing ideas and concepts being drawn up, but I do want to make sure that we consolidate our focus, get a couple of good games. Well, we'll go through the roadmap and see what that is. Looking forward is to the next week. So what are we going to be doing the upcoming week? And then we'll open it up to Q&A. All right. Fantastic. Let's do this. I feel like I need music. It's time. So I threw this in here because this is a theme that I really want to focus on for a second. If you've watched the stream, you know my excitement about what this project means and how I think this is going to potentially change the community and impact Web3 in a big way. We have huge aspirations, and my call to action this week for those who are watching is it's time. If you were on the fence about, should I learn Unity? Is it worth picking up that Blender skill set? Is it worth trying to create this song or learn this art? It is time. Don't sit on the bench anymore. This is the call to action. If you have an idea, if you have something that you were hesitant about, jump all in. That's my call to action. I'm saying take that next step. Take that next step. to make something happen for yourself, for the community, for your community, whatever it is, it's time. We are ready. This is a new season. We are in August now. We are wrapping up kind of the summer. If you have kids or you're involved in the school, school is starting. So it's time. Let's make this move. Let's not sit idly by, because change is coming in a very positive way. And I want everyone who is here now to be a part of it, because when this comes to fruition, you want to be able to say you were there and you contributed, because it is going to be just I I get lost for words sometimes on how impactful I really see this being, on a much larger scale than just our community. And we had some really meaningful conversations with communities that are doing outreach into the real world, and who are working with charities, and who are working with different organizations, and knowing that this platform could potentially help them as well. There is social cause and social value underneath what we're building, and so that's my theme right now. That's kind of the message that's kind of beating in my heart. Is it's time. We're ready. It's all here. Let's go. Let's go. Dude, Artifact, and oh my God, Architect, NFT Architect. Yes, I know you are all in, and I love it, and I love the work that you are doing, and I won't spoil, but you are definitely highlighted. My boy Humble in the house. I don't know why. Okay, we'll just go 808. Okay. So, what happened this week? Well, couple things. Is it too late? Ditzy, no, not too late. Never too late. It's never too late, right? That's the beauty. It's jumping. All right. We had the Genesis vessel launch. So that happened earlier this week. We closed the boarding doors. Boom, we have our Genesis crew. Over 300 of you were able to become Genesis Exlanders. That will be a permanent designation for the rest of all time. You are now locked in as part of Upx World history and lore. You are on the Genesis vessel. If you didn't make it on the Genesis vessel, do not fear. You can still become an Exlander. Go select your living quarters, get your Exlander designation, and join the community. All Exlanders are welcome, and there are many other ships to be filled, but that was a big moment for us. That Genesis Exlander designation and the Genesis vessel is a critical part to our lore and history. So I am very excited for the crew that we assembled for that. And again, it is open still to join the other vessels and become an Exlander and become part of this amazing, ever-growing community. Let's see, the first live demo. So if you haven't seen it, we did I think we demoed it twice. Land for Land put together an amazing Unity demo with a small townhouse and an Exlander. We're able to walk around and walk into the house. Very, very cool. If there's time today, I might even jump in. I do have it prepped and ready. If we have time, I might jump in and just show it again, because I think it is important, and we will be hopefully having some more iterations. I like being able to show that kind of progress and give the community an idea of what's happening behind the scenes. Voice of the community. This is something that is mission critical to Upx World. We are very much looking to use the voice of the community to drive the narrative, to help us identify what is going to make the active community excited. So one of the things that happened this week, and it's actually been a little bit, was around these living quarters. And it was originally just designed to be a quick, hey, here's some things. And it was just going to be like a fun, select a living quarter, and then you get your Exlander roll, right? It was kind of just supposed to be fun. However, the community really engaged with it and started forming these attachments to their living quarters, whether it was Botany Bay or the Galactic Gamers, Crypto Kitties corner. Like everybody has their niche in their group, and so we started to run with that. So we've actually had background competitions. We have backstory creation that's happening now. This week it's Botany Bay that we're focusing on. So we're gonna actually, because of the community and the engagement, we're going to actually be doing a lot more with these living quarters, and it's going to be now part of kind of the story and mission of Upx World is these living quarters. So this is a perfect example where we started with something and the community really got behind it. And that's awesome. That's exactly what we want to do. Another thing that the community has been loving, shout out to Dak, and we'll highlight it here, is the LC Brew. It is the official beverage of the Genesis vessel. Super, super fun. Great backstory and details. Thank you, Dak, for creating the official beverage of the Genesis vessel. We'll actually see that highlighted here. Umbrella Boy says, Botany Bay, woo woo. Yes, indeed. I want humble. I want those social causes. I need a better way to utilize my artwork. Jumping on that Blender. Yes, jump on Blender, Unity. Those are going to be some core kind of applications that we're going to be using. So definitely do that. And we will be doing a lot with social causes. I think that's one of the things I've been probably the most, not necessarily surprised with, but I've been very pleased with the amount of social causes and how receptive the kind of the crypto community and the NFT and metaverse community has been around rallying behind social causes and really contributing, and I think impacting in a major way to those causes. It is unbelievable the generosity of spirit that we see inside this community, and we want to continue that, and we want to enable that in an absolutely huge way with the shared revenue model, where these charities and communities and social groups will have the ability to own pieces of revenue, right? So the revenue share model that we've been talking about, where there's an underpinning NFT, which is like the original asset record against an in-app purchase, which then the owner of that will continually get revenue from those purchases. This is going to allow revenue streams connected to those NFTs. And so with charities, if we create those NFTs for those charities and they hold them, not only will they be able to get an initial boost of funding, but now they will have an ongoing passive revenue stream. And as that continues to build, maybe each year they come out with a new version or new update on content, they can continue to ramp up not only their social awareness, but revenue as well. So that's really exciting, and we'll definitely be talking a lot more about that in the coming weeks and months on what those partnerships look like and how you can get involved with either some existing charities, or if you have your own charity that you work with, how can you empower them with the Upx World platform. Continue to focus social engagement. This is really important to us. We are a social community. That is kind of the backbone of what we're doing. We have over 900 Discord members now, which is awesome. Over 400 followers. If you're not following us on Twitter, please do. We have over 3,000 impressions this week, which is really cool. I'm starting to get a little bit more into the social analytics to kind of understand that. Shout out to Scotch, aka Sebaku, who is doing a fantastic job as the Upx World marketing manager, director, community guru. Much appreciated. She is crushing it for us, really helping make sure that we're staying relevant. Hashtag Upx World. Let's get that trending. So lots of good stuff. Let's see, what do we got next? This is a personal big one for me. The Upx World Inc. official registration is done. I cannot tell you how impactful that is to me. It is a full C corp. There are common shares. I am the sole owner of that, but it is. Can I just share some I got this cool. Oh, you can't. Hold on. Well, let me. All right, you're gonna see some green screen, and I apologize, but I want to show this. Boop, boop, boop. Go original. All right, Upx World binder, official, we have this. Look at this. Hold on. Ooh, where's? I didn't even know that this was a real thing. But if you've never seen one of these, and I had never seen one of these, this is an official seal. Can I? Well, does it come up on the camera? Can you? Oh, that is not. Hold on. Let me see if I turn off this light. Can you see this? It is it's not. You can't see it at all. But it's an Upx World Inc. corporate seal. What? You press it, you put the paper in there, and it presses, and that's our corporate seal. Corporate documents get this paper impression. What? Holy cow. I got binders now of corporate documents. It's getting serious, guys. This isn't this is a whole new level. And I'm not going to lie, it's a little intimidating. But I would like to thank the community, because you guys are, what keeps me going here, what keeps me motivated and hopeful, and your engagement and the support is making this possible. I'm not going to lie, these are big, kind of scary steps for me to go into this new area and to try and create this platform. And I know that there's a lot of excitement around it, and we are making some very, very big promises. And I do not have any intentions of failing you as a community on this. We have the momentum. We have big next steps. I'm excited. So thank you. Thank you very much to all of the community. We do have a new contract live, so we have that $7,000 alpha game contract. It is still open, although I will say that there is a group of players we have created, kind of a small alpha team creation group. However, if there is a professional team that wants to come in and also go for it, that's fine. We can have potentially multiple things here. We can expand that contract. If you are a developer or a Unity creator and you don't think that you can take on the contract yourself, but you want to create a team, let's talk about that. Maybe we can connect you with other developers, things like that. That is perfectly acceptable as well. And I would strongly recommend, if you are a Unity developer or you're thinking about that, start to gather your team, because this is the first contract, but it will not be the last contract. And they will only get bigger from here. So please, if this is an interest of you, if you want to be a gaming developer, on a smaller scale to start with, but I mean, these are serious contracts, right? We are going to be creating, I think the racing game, and don't quote me on this, but I think we're in the 15,000 range for the race, for the Upx World racing game. Those are kind of the quotes, and looking at what it takes to make that. So again, if this is an area of interest to you, definitely make sure that you stay connected and watch. that seal stambler is lit. Dude, I know. I was like, what is this? Like, I got my whole binder from my legal team and like all of the corporate documents and like the official paperwork and the seal, and I was like, holy cow, this is serious business now. Like, whew. All right, we're in this together. Thank you, Ty Dala Yo. Absolutely. When Upx World merch, I don't know. I'm a big merch fan. I don't want to just create merch for the sake of creating merch. That's definitely not my style. But as we progress, for sure, that's definitely a possibility. Let me know what kind you want. Maybe we have, and this is another area. Like, I'm fine for the community to create the merch and go, hey, here you go. We'll create your UpX World merch, and you guys can do profit share on that too. I'm open to that. Let's see here. Humble says that they are happy to work with teams and ideas and more. Oh, and thank you. You got this, bro. Ugh, love that. Love that. Thank you. All right. What do we got next? Community Spotlight. Oh, this is so cool. So, if you guys have not like browsed the Discord, different, especially like the contracts discussion and some of the threads, there is some amazing content being created, and I wanted to highlight. I got a couple slides here of some things and amazing stuff that's being created by this community. So we have Ambassador Dak of UMC with the Eleanor Hamlet Galactic Stout, Elsie for short. This has become an absolute server favorite. Anytime there is a celebration to be had, there is an Elsie Stout for that celebration. So thank you, Dak, for this beautiful beverage and and its wide usage. We had this is now these are a little bit further back, so you might have to scroll through the contracts, but I wanted to highlight some of these jetpack designs. I really, if you played the game Anthem, EA released the game. It's been several years now, called Anthem, where you got to fly around like Iron Man and shoot things, and it was super fun. And unfortunately, I don't know what happened to it. The dev team kind of dropped the ball, and it was devastating to me because it was everything I ever wanted it to be. Actually, it was super cool. And so I definitely see being able to fly around your favorite city with a jetpack at some point. That is a high priority for next year. Let's be very clear. This is not a 2022 outcome. Now, we might have these items in game, but I don't expect there to be flying mechanics. There's a lot that goes into that. But we do have some amazing submissions and winners of these, and I want to call some out to right here. I love you. Still play it? Is it still around? I thought they discontinued it. Oh man, I got to check that out then. If it's still alive, still limping along. Lady More Cheese of UDU. So what you don't know, at least what I did not know, is More Cheese creates like this isn't an image of a jetpack that is pixelated because I kind of thought that that's what was happening. However, I got to watch her stream, and if you haven't seen it on the MVE Discord or her doing her art, it's amazing. This is actually like pixel, like she hand pixels these, like just like it's incredible. I have no idea how somebody's brain can operate like that. Like I would have no idea how to do this. But watching her do it is mesmerizing, and it is a beautiful. I love the steampunk style aesthetics for VIX. Much cool. Wisco Kid with this classic notebook doodling of an absolute killer VIX jetpack. That thing looks amazing. I would absolutely love to have that. NFT Architect, not Artifact. architect. I'm gonna mess it up 1,000 times, but I will get it right eventually. With the booster jetpack, so there was a booster competition. So a couple of things. So the VIX, so that is for members who are VIX. Right now, there's just the lifetime VIX. However, that is very important. Exlanders, what that stands for. That will be kind of the premium membership of Upx World overall. That is, those details are not yet worked out as far as scope and pricing by any means, and will again likely not be this year. Just depends on how soon we can get enough content that I would consider premium. I do not want people paying for future content. I only want that to be when there's worth something paying for, right? So NFT architect with this amazing booster design. This is just like, it's so gorgeous. Like just the art of this sketch and like the little details of the power indicators with the booster, the crystal from Discord. I love that integration into the design, like the texture of the pattern and all of the little details. Absolutely gorgeous. I could stare at this all day, and every time I look at it, I notice something a little different, and it is so cool. Thank you for this sketch. Prospector taking it up a notch with full 3D modeling of some jetpacks. So this is super exciting to see like what this would look like. This looks super intense. Like this looks like you're going to a different planet with this. Like I would be intimidated to strap this to my back and fly around because my goodness, it feels like it would be a spaceship. But I love it. C4, special call out to this. So I don't think C4 knows this, but I actually commissioned a 3D model of this character. I really like it's very simplistic, but it is exactly kind of what I was kind of picturing as a baseline for the Exlander model. So this has actually been commissioned by a 3D modeler and will be in. I think the delivery is it's a long delivery because they're actually modeling it from scratch. So shout out to C4 for this because it is super cool and will eventually be a real model, which I love. All right, can I just play it here? Das Mustang. Look at this. Taking it to another level. Like, not just like, hey, let me submit a rocket pack. Like, let me make a little like promo video. He's got the background, the Upx World background. Boom! Look at this. The shiny. Like, this is fun. Like, thank you, Das Mustang. This is look. I just love the way it like floats around. Like, just fun. Thank you so much, Das Mustang, for the video. Next, okay, so we had a Upx World Embassy. So one of the reasons I'm so excited and why it was so important to have a proper corporation for Upx World is in order to really have that cemented with Upland as far as getting an official enterprise relationship started. We had to have a corporation that could be then connected with Upland for what we want to do. One of the things that we are pushing for, and now full disclosure, this has not technically been approved by Upland for the purposes of having embassies, but it is something I am in talks with to get done. And so this would be very much the equivalent of the motor factory or a stadium. These would be Upx World embassies that would be represented inside of Upland, and would be our like the third party integration hub. So you would go there to link your accounts and to do escrow things, and there'll be some other interactive stuff with the embassy. And so we want a custom building. I don't want to just put that and attach it to an apartment or something like that. These are some of the designs. And so the submissions are closed for now because I think that these participants, in order to get these fully modeled and approved, it is a lot of work for the artist. And I didn't want any of them to feel like they didn't, that they weren't going to be able to complete their model and have it come in potentially to Upland. And so we've closed it now. These are the finalists. So NFT Architect, with two just incredibly unique models, the Stacked Tower and this amazing X sphere with, again, just the detail of the sketches. Like, did I call you artifact architect? And this is highlighting why you are an architect. This is gorgeous. Tosshead, who is an incredible designer, artist extraordinaire. You can often see him pairing with the one and only Shaktalin. With his X building, I really like this concept here. Simple but effective. Land for Land coming in with a very eco-friendly. This feels like it would have one of those like high level of energy efficiency kind of self-sustaining buildings. I like that it feels organic and like it would contribute in a meaningful way to the environment. So Land for Land, thank you for that. C4 crushing it with the XL1 Chancery building. This is amazing. I like it. It almost feels like, have you seen those like slow motion where they like drop an egg and it like comes up? Like, that's what this feels like. What an amazing structure and details. There's the 9 levels, 20-foot, right? Like all the little details that really just make you go, wow, that's super cool. Prospector with this does feel like an embassy to me. Like this feels like actually it feels like an embassy suite. So like a hotel embassy. It's got the helipad, so like, oh, important people are coming here because we have a helipad. Like if you have a helipad, you're kind of a big deal. Like unless you're a hospital or something, like why you got a helipad? Because big things are happening, right? Like, thank you. Aldair, this is not doing it justice. He has been doing some other stuff, and I think he had actually DM'd me some extra things. So I apologize. The things that Aldair is doing though with this tower design and the symbolism and some of his intricacies in that design are so futuristic and cool looking. It is absolutely very, very interesting. Even if that doesn't end up as an embassy, I can see this being used for some other stuff. Also, shout out to Aldair. He was one of the first ones to use any sort of like flagging placement, which is pretty traditional for an embassy. So you can see he's got the ring of flags here, which I think is super cool. And I think we have a lot to play with on that. So shout out to all of the amazing finalists. I've actually sent some of these to the Upland team just to give them an idea of what is happening, and they were understandably blown away. This is taking things to a whole new level, and that's what it's all about. I absolutely love it. Thank you very much for all of these amazing designs and the work that went behind them. It is truly appreciated. Okay, what do we got next? And actually, let's see. Well, we'll just go through it all because then I got some other stuff. All right. So here is our product roadmap. Again, very, very lightweight to start with, because there are some things happening behind the scenes that may accelerate this. This is the slowest version of the roadmap. So this is us just working and piecemealing together. This is with no major funding. This is with no grant money. This is with no VCs. This is just bootstrapping it as a community, with very limited funding, but a lot of gusto, right? So this is where we're at, and so I want to like set that expectation of like this is where the progression of Upx World will be minimum. Now it could be more. We could accelerate this a lot more, but this is minimum. So in the next couple months, what you're going to see is the Upx World data mines uh, for Upland. So the Upex World data mines are going to be the data warehouse behind Upex World, and that's going to have data from any metaverse or NFT projects that we do, any blockchains that we're interacting with. So Grom Brindle, who is was one of the members of the winning hackathon team, he is leading up the effort for the Upland data mines on Upx World, which is absolutely amazing. He has created a terrific structured data. Oh my gosh, why did I just structured database with all of the relationships between all the transactions, currently scraping the chain to build that out. And then there will be APIs on top of that with the front end. And that's going to be the beginnings of the data site. And it's going to be, again, because of the architecture of the data, we are hoping to have a much more efficient data site. The queries should be a lot quicker. We should be able to get insights and data that would have been maybe more difficult with an unstructured database where you have to combine and look through all of the data lake and the JSON objects. Here, everything's going to be indexed and related. So you should be very easy to kind of see some of the basic information and get some advanced analytics running. So really excited about that. Thank you, Grom Brindle, for the amazing work that you're doing there. Alpha Game 1, which is personal metaphase. So what this means is we want to be able to say, hey, here's your property, here's your building, here's your Exlander. Go walk around your property, look at your building. We're going to have Xenon, which is the in-game currency of Upx World. You'll be able to collect Xenon periodically throughout your thing. It's going to be a very rudimentary game that is designed to kind of showcase your ability to have your own property with your own building and interact with the building and see what that looks like, right? So this is just starting to show the foundation of taking upland information and creating a Unity space that can be used at scale. So we're going to start with one property, maybe go to one neighborhood, one city, the whole world, right? So it'll be able to scale using I won't get super nerdy on the GeoJSON stuff and my boy Slav and Lad for Land and a bunch of people who are working on some great things for that to be able to integrate that into Unity. So those things should be coming in the next 2 months. So look for that. Then at the end of this year, so Q4, October, November, December this year, what we'll be looking to do is launch a couple more games. They haven't been decided exactly what they are. I would love to get a racing game that you can actually like drive cars around and collect Xenon. And then one other game, personally, I would love it to be tower defense because I'm a huge tower defense nerd, but that's pretty advanced. Like I do, again, I want to set expectations. I don't want anyone to get overly excited because we do have a lot of assets that are being created for some of these games, but the actual gamification and how you can get like multiplayer and stuff like that, those are a little bit more advanced that we need to do, but that's going to be there. The plan would be that at that point the Upland escrow would be live, and so you'd be able to do some stuff with escrow and Upx World. So putting paying Upx to play a game, or putting your block explorers or cars into escrow for various purposes. So hopefully that will be live by then. And I would love to see potentially Upland embassies, at least one Upland embassy in San Francisco. That's going to be the first spot So, San Francisco is the Genesis city. It will be the first place that we look to create an embassy. And then likely what we'll do is we'll start to scale out embassies into the tier one cities first. So it will likely go San Francisco, Manhattan, Chicago, and then we'll figure out secondary tiers, maybe jump to Rio just so that there's international presence. But we'll have to look at how that actually scales out. First global contest. So the idea here would be that sometime in November, and I just realized that I just put now instead of November, but that's fine. October now, that should be November, is going to be a city versus city. So this is going to be, you'll collect Xenon in these mini games, and the Xenon would normally be used for in-app purchases, but that will likely be either very limited or completely disabled through the alpha. So 2022 is Upx World Alpha. Like that's where we're at. We will get into the actual beta launch Q1 of 23. So in the alpha, there probably will not be in-app purchases. So the Xenon that you collect will be used to then donate to spin up the metaphase generator, which is the thing that's actually going to create all of these amazing metaphases we've been talking about. And as you donate that, you will pick the city that you want to represent. So this will be the first city versus city competition that I'm aware of in relation to Upland. And the winning city, so whatever city collects the most Xenon, will get the first city city specific metaphase. So whatever city wins, come on, San Francisco, we'll get the first of the city specific metaphases. This is important because this will be one of the first places to highlight your community and your neighborhood. So whatever city wins is going to have a distinct advantage there. So I think it's going to be a really exciting contest, and I hope we're able to get and generate a lot of excitement during that event. When we look at Q1 and Q2 of 2023, this is our open beta launch. My goal is to have our iOS and Android apps ready with the games that we've created and maybe another game or two at launch. This is where we'll see city and neighborhood metaphases that feature these games that are interactive on a much larger scale. As we go in and look further, this will be the expansion of community metaphases and additional NFT platforms. So once we get kind of nailed down our Upland foundation, we'll be looking to integrate and bring in other NFT projects. Wax is pretty high up there because I know the Upland community specifically does a lot of things with Wax. So we will likely see that be one of the first integrated platforms. And what that means, at least initially, until we get smart contracts that allow escrow on the Wax chain, that will be linking your Wax wallet to Upland, to Upx World, and that will allow certain interactions or unlock certain features, or be able to do some of the shared revenue that we had previously talked about. I just wanted to throw it up here as well. Everything that we're doing, I really want to make sure that next year at Genesis Week, which would be essentially the 1 year anniversary of kind of like the seed of what is now the Upx World platform. I would love to launch live events. So maybe host a live event from Genesis Week inside of Upex World. So that is something that I will be actively working towards in Q2 to be able to achieve that. So look for that. All right. Let me see what we got here. Yes, Moon Unit, they are absolutely killing it. Cheese's pixel art is fantastic. C4 is killing it. The Real Umbrella, yikes, those look amazing. Absolutely, they do. Mars Buggy agrees, awesome buildings. Humble, I would love a Bat Pig Block Blaster game. All right, I have no idea what that is. Like, if I'm being honest, what is a Bat Pig blockbuster block blaster game? I can't even say it, humble, but I'd love to know what it is. Umbrella Boy is the idea that you could potentially launch Upx World from Embassy Building in Upland. Yeah, potentially. If at very least a link to the game. So if it was like, say, for instance, play.upx.world, maybe it's a link there, or if there is a link to the Discord or other information. I'm hoping that it can actually be dynamic, where we're able to put up like news in advance or different registration for things. I'd like to make the embassy a little bit more interactive and informational, and have some different features. But yes, ultimately, it will link to the Upx World assets, being the website or a link to download the app, etc. So that's what the embassy purpose would be. And the way that the third party stuff works is you actually have to go. So every third party is going to have essentially, as far as I understand it, they have to have a meta venture of some kind that you have to send your block explorer there to then authorize the third party app to have access to your account for escrow purposes. And then every escrow that you do actually has to be approved as well. And we'll get into that once we, which the sandbox for that and the dev should be up this month. So as we start to experiment with that, we'll definitely keep the community updated, maybe even do some live dev streams once we get the Upland sandbox up, to show kind of how we're building things and working with the escrow. All right. It's like Punball on Google Play. Humble, I feel like you said that statement like it would clarify things. Like, oh, it's like Punball on Google Play. What is Punball? You did not help. That did not clarify anything. I am sorry. I guess I'll have to Google Punball later. So yes, looking forward this week, more bounties. So these are kind of the heart of what we're doing in the community. So we're going to have lots of bounties. I want to make this a regular thing, 3 to 5 bounties a week, just to kind of keep things interesting. We'll probably make them a little bit more lightweight. I did get that feedback that they might have been a little too involved, and it was, especially like doing the 3D modeling stuff. So we'll probably scale the bounties down to being a little bit more lightweight and having easier parameters. And then we'll move some of the chunkier things. I think the threshold before was anything under 1,000 USD was going to be a bounty, but I think we're probably going to scale that way down to say it's got to be less than $100. To kind of be a bounty, and then everything else would be contracts, because they are so time intensive, and I never want an artist or creator to put in time and then feel like that was wasted, or that or scared to start a bounty or a contract because they don't want to waste their time. So we will be tweaking that, and please, if you have feedback, if you have ideas on how maybe it could be run better, by all means share that. You will not we will not have any offense. Flag design contest. So we showcase the flag. If you aren't, so this was a big thing that was announced, kind of the core tenets of what Upx World means to Exlanders, and that is a utopian, peaceful existence. And we have a flag that will reflect that. White paper. It killed me that I couldn't finalize it this week. So many things with the business and other back-end stuff. I didn't get a chance to finalize the white paper, and I know this is important because it kind of sets the tone of what we're doing. It also gives players and outside people who may not be familiar with Upx World and Upland and the metaverse and all of the complicated content that we are dealing with, kind of a more guided tour into the information. So I do want to make sure that it captures kind of the spirit of what we're building, and there have been some tweaks. So that is high on my list this week, and I will do my best to deliver that but I did want to give you that update. Architect says, I think $50 and $20 is great range for quick bounties. Yeah, I think so. I think that's kind of the sweet spot as well. That's kind of what I'm finding. Thank you for confirming that. All right, I have Q&A, but and by all means, if you guys have questions, now's the time. We got 10 minutes left. I'm going to show some more content, but I'm going to leave the chat open here for anybody. This is the flag. It's actually just the background on my computer right now. This is the flag that I kind of put together for Upx World, and so here's the utopian, peaceful existence. And this is designed to represent the split brain of the Exlander with the AI and the human components, and the fact that kind of we fill our lungs with the exploration of space. So yeah, maybe a little heavy on the symbolism, but we're going to have contests for each kind of pillar here, and so that way we'll have kind of, I think it'll be a cool eclectic way to do the flag. So it might be various artists who do each side, but again, this is a community driven design period as well. This was just to kind of give an initial idea and concept to highlight what we're looking to do. Mars Buggy says, will Upx World incorporate VR AR? Yes. The short answer is yes, absolutely. Yes, I don't think that you can realistically plan on being a Web3 platform and not have that somewhere on the roadmap. I don't want to put it anywhere on the timeline because it is honestly not. I don't want to say it's not a priority because it's something that's very top of mind. I think it's very important, but I'm a gamer. I have owned pretty much every VR headset that's come out. I've owned multiple different Oculuses, the PlayStation VR, and they're super cool. Right, I actually bought Oculus VRs for my family last Christmas. The self-sustaining one, and it's really cool. I just don't know that it is as universally available yet. So we're focusing primarily on mobile. So mobile application is our primary delivery mechanism, but 100% things like AR, VR, experiences specifically, experiences in social, I think are going to be critical for that space. I'm not saying that the plan is to have a VR live event ready for Genesis Week next year, where if you can't make it, that you could potentially go into an Upx World meta phase and walk around, the event live with other people. I'm not saying that. That's not being said. I'm making sure. I'm not saying that we're going to have a VR live event ready for Genesis Week next week. I'm not saying that, but I'm also not saying that. So anyway, yep. All right. So let me pull up. We got 7 minutes. I want to pull up some more content. My boy Slab, dude. If this does not get you excited, okay, I'm probably a little bit biased because it's a turtle driving a freaking jet powered go-kart. Like, come on. Yes, please. Like, thank you, Slab. Slab is actually working on a mini game, go-kart racing. This would be one of the things that you'll see a lot of. Is we're going to have kind of this Upx World arcade where there's going to be mini games inside the games where you'll be able to interact with things and maybe spawn these mini games. One of them is a really fun little go-kart racing where you'll be able to have with the decor shops. One of the things we're going to build is a little like racetrack, so it'll look like a backyard like style racetrack for go-karts. But then in layer 2 in Upx World, you'll be able to go and interact with that. So in a social neighborhood or a social meta phase, your Xlander will be able to walk around and interact with different decor or have different buildings that essentially spawn experiences. So decor and buildings, you'll be able to interact and have different experiences with them, depending on various criteria. And so one of those experiences that Slav and his son, which I love. I love that he's taken it and it's generational, and that it's something that he's doing with his son and teaching his son Unity, and they're working together on this. And that just warms my heart so much and makes me so excited. And the fact that also it's a turtle driving this car just brings a smile to my face every time I look at it. So I wanted to share that with you guys. Yes, yes, yes. All right, let's see here. Architect, don't forget to submit LQ badges as a bounty idea. Oh, yeah, for sure. Whoop, whoop. I'm excited. Yes, Wedge Cloud. Mobile is my primary device. Yes. So that's also one of the reasons that I'm so bullish on Upland. Upland is really, in my opinion, the only metaverse that is taking into account that if you want to reach mass market appeal, it's mobile. Like, it's not even a question. No one in the industry questions where the future of gaming, where the future of social, where the future of Web3 is. It is mobile. If you are not mobile first, that to me, as a technical architect, is a problem. Then your platform, your application is behind. If I have to have a PC, if I have to be sitting in front of a computer to interact with what you're doing, you're missing the market. Like, sure, you'll have your own space, fine, but you're never gonna hit a billion users. You're never gonna hit a billion users if I have to be on a laptop. Not gonna happen. If I'm mobile, that's where you're gonna get a billion users. And we're not looking for 100,000. We're not looking for 1,000,000. We're looking for 1 billion gamers to be playing this. So we have to be mobile. Like, that is the future of the space. Okay. I'll get off my mobile soapbox. I'm just very, very passionate. Like, it drives me insane that like people are not realizing that. I'm so glad that Upland, and that's why the second I saw it, and that's why I'm continually bullish on them, because, and I know that yes, sometimes you have to go to the mobile web app to do some of the fiat things and some features, sure, but the majority can be done in an iOS native app, in a Android native app, or in the mobile web. And that is phenomenal. And kudos to that team, because that is a very, very smart strategic play. All right. Turtle versus Bat Pig question mark? I don't know what that even means. I still don't know what a Bat Pig is. Can one metaphase link to another? This has come up. We have to look at what that means as far as metaphases linking to another. Probably not is the short answer, because they're stacked vertically. They're not really meant to be horizontal. Each metaphase kind of has its own meaning, especially if you're talking like personal metaphases. The personal metaphase is driven by really like people visiting specific players. So we don't want players visiting one property and then being able to, in theory, it makes sense. Like, I just walked to my neighbor's house. Sure. But we really want to drive the personal metaphases to help revenue. So if you make a really cool personal metaphase, you have maybe a mini game or events, and that's going to drive people to visit your property. That's ultimately what we want. Is then that is a form of you being able to generate revenue for yourself based on that property. If you go, hey, come visit my awesome metaphase, and it's not just give me a free visit, right? It's like, hey, we're going to be throwing a barbecue and hanging out, or hey, I got Mars Utah playing live at my metaphase tonight. Like, those are the kind of things. Like, hey, I got an outdoor projector on my metaphase, and we're going to be live screening this movie or whatever, this event. Like, and that's going to drive people to come visit. And subsequently, like, the visitor fees is actually one of Upland's like closest thing to a revenue share. And you see it when there's, the big treasure hunts and things like that. the revenue that players are generating from visitor fees is actually quite substantial. And that is a form of revenue sharing, and that is a form of passive revenue against your property that isn't coming from the community pool. It's coming from the community themselves. So yes. If we both have racing games, would it be possible to make a portal to interact with you? I don't know what that means. Both racing games would be interact with you. I'd have to understand that a little bit more. All right, so then this is also, I know we're at the top of the hour, but I'm going to go through some other stuff. Here's Slav. So we've talked a lot about horror themed stuff. And again, this is, a skinning of properties, which is going to be a massive part of what we're doing in Upx World. So while the buildings and everything are really cool inside of Upland, when we bring them to Upx World, we want to be able to really just take it to a next level. And we've seen this with decor, but the decor is, time limited, which is great, right? That is the beauty of layer one, it's a much, I don't want to say it's more hardcore, but it's more hardcore, right? It's for the true, like, hey, you can only decorate during this time, and it's a really important, asset variation for them. But when we go to layer two, not only is it, can you have Halloween all the time, but you'll be able to have skins and much more, interactive, kind of elements to your buildings in layer two, and much more color variations and all kinds of stuff. So we're happy to be able to unlock all of that kind of stuff in layer two. Here is another, Slab is just crushing it, man. I love it. Here's our go-kart track. So this would be an example. If you could imagine just like this shrunk down and then placed on a property as a decor. It actually fits all of the criteria for decor, so this will be something that would be on a player's property. So in layer one, it would just be kind of like a static track, and you would go, oh, that's kind of cool. They have like a race car track, like a mini go-kart track in their backyard. But in layer two, when you go to that player's property, say in a personal meta phase, or in their community, so if they're in a neighborhood, like that's a highlight for that neighborhood. If they have a track, you go, hey, if you want to do this mini go-kart racing, you can actually come visit our community meta phase. We have, these tracks available, etc. So it's going to be a lot of fun to be able to give users and communities tools to drive interactions for their projects and their houses. And if I haven't said it, I'll say it 100 more times. Revenue share. So if it costs 100 Upex, let's say to do a race with your friends on one of these tracks, the track owner will get revenue share, right? So now we have passive revenue from decor. So that's the idea. That's where you start to see everything we're doing, all of the interactions, all of the experiences that are going to be at layer two are there to do shared revenue and to be able to create passive income on your layer one assets in a way that just wasn't available before. Here's this tower defense, which I love. There's actually and I should have got the video of it like coming together and like being built. You know what? Can I just pull this up? It's so cool though. I really want to show this. Give me a second. Because I just want to, where did it go? Here. So if how do can I, oh. Oh. Can I open this file? Oh. Let me do this. All right, hold on. Why aren't you playing? Oh, here. Check this out. I love this. Watch this. Wait for it. Oh, boom. Like, come on. Like, can you imagine deploying it and having that happen? Like, come on. That's super cool. Where were we? That was the tower. Let's see here. Blowing up buildings is going to be Mars. That's secret. Yes, we plan on We plan on blowing up buildings. We plan on crushing buildings. We plan on doing all kinds of really fun stuff. And that's the beauty, is because it's layer 2. We have freedom and we can play that, and it doesn't destroy your asset. It doesn't destroy layer 1. It's all protected. But in layer 2, we can just start having a lot of fun, right? Like, why not? I love it. It's going to be fun. All right. Here you go. Here's your certificate. I, again, just super proud. Oh, formation of domestic for-profit corporation. Love it. Love it. All right. Here's some more slab stuff. I love the giant turtle. This is like, I want to just like walk down the street and crush things. Ignore the Death Star. That's nothing to be seen. Nothing to see there. This is a screenshot from the Unity game where you can see the building. Here's another ominous look at this giant turtle and Slav's mild obsession with fembots. Ignore that. They will be clothed before we launch that. And unfortunately, we are over time. So there won't be much of a demo. But here, just to close it out, if you haven't seen this, this is the very first, glimpse at what a personal metaphase might look like. So again, we have a lot of extra stuff here, just to kind of show possibilities. Once shrubbery and trees and things come in, and what potentially some of the outdoor decor could look like. But yeah, you would phase in, and this would be your personal metaphase. You'd be able to have your house, which you could then open up and walk around. Hello, etc. So there you go. That is the weekly recap for Upx World this week. I hope that everyone has enjoyed their time here as much as I have. If you want to catch up on the previous things, see some more demos, they are on the YouTubes, I believe is what they call it. So please check that out. We will be streaming again Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Friday, 5 p.m. with a Saturday morning, 8 a.m. All those times are in Central Time because I am in Central Time. So that's that. And then our weekly recap at 5 p.m. So that, I love the sunrise. Yeah. And so that's, guys, every little detail. If you played a Path of Exile or any of these things where you just unlock it, and again, we're talking micro transactions. So just a little like, oh hey, here's 100 Upex here, a 200 Upex there to unlock this, or Xenon, or whatever we use to actually unlock the in-app purchases. But all of that then is a profit share opportunity for whoever creates that. Like, hey, and we'll work to create templates, right? So we're going to have different asset templates that say, hey, we need, say, environmental effects, or we need a background for this. And we'll have templates and guidelines for creators to then be able to say, well, hey, here, I'm going to submit this. We'll have a process for that to be integrated in. Original asset record, NFTs then created for that for the actual creator. And then, yeah, then it'll be live. Oh, it's going to be so much fun, guys. I am just so happy. Thank you for joining in on this Sunday evening or potentially Monday morning, depending on where you are in the world. So thank you very much. It is an absolute pleasure being able to stream live with you every day. And I hope that everybody starts their week off taking action, right? So if that's it's time. Like, this is it, guys. There's no going back. I'm telling you right now, I'm all in. I'm all in. Like, I've leveraged every penny that I have now that is free. Like, I'm not buying anything, like, no offense, Upland. I'm still using my reoccurring Upex to buy stuff, but like every free penny that I have is going into Upx World. Every free moment, every free brain cell that I have is going into making Upx World wildly successful, like I know it can be. So it's time. Like, this is it. I'm all in. I'm not saying you have to go all in by any means, but take that next step. Take that go watch that YouTube tutorial. Download Unity, download Blender. They're free. Learn the tutorial, have fun, and just, yeah, it's time, guys. Let's go. All right. Until tomorrow, you guys have a blessed evening.